Next, your turn.
Yes, Hazur, I have a question about al-tawaqqul ala Allah. What is really meant by tawakkul? Should we leave everything to God, or should we?
After you have bound the knee of the camel, of course. This has made the whole subject so clear. Whatever important measures you must take normally to protect your rights, your property, etc., you must do that. You're not exempt from that. You're not above these things. This is true humility. Then tawakkul begins, not before. Now this again is one of the Jami'ul Kalim, of course. This word tawakkul Allah is repeated in the Holy Quran many times. But when Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is the meaning of tawakkul. That's what I mean, al-Jami'ul Kalim, which he has been granted. He said, when you leave a camel in a desert somewhere, you are resting, this is not tawakkul that you leave it, oh God will take care of him, and I go and do whatever I like, and then I return and the camel will be there. This is not tawakkul. Bind his knee. So he cannot break loose and he cannot leave. Then have tawakkul. This is a beautiful instruction of Rasulullah. Whenever I look at it, I am overwhelmed with this beauty. So many things have been said in this short space of time. This means that despite the fact that you take every measure to protect your rights, be sure that nothing can be guaranteed by you unless Allah watches your interests and protects them. So do whatever you may. Crisis can come from nowhere you could expect. They can suddenly erupt from the ground, from the soil. They can descend from the heaven, and you don't know, you're not sure what may happen. You take every measure to make a journey safe, and take a plane which has an excellent record, and suddenly it blows up in the midair. There's no guarantee, despite all your efforts. So the second meaning is that do whatever measures you can to acquire a given objective. Then do not have faith on your measures. Then have faith in Allah. And He'll see to it then that nothing untowards, nothing unexpected happens to break your plans and to, bring out results other than you expected. That is the second meaning. The third is that if you think without taking genuine measures to achieve something, that Allah is like your slave. He will take care of everything. You're a very sadly mistaken person. Very ignorant. This is claiming that you are above ordinary people, as if you are a relative of God. He will treat you in a manner that he will defy his own laws created by him of proper care, precaution, certain measures. This is what God's nature has taught us. So don't consider yourself exempt from these. If you put your hand into the fire and have tawakkul, Allah will not let it be. Try it and then see what's the meaning of this tawakkul. It's stupidity. This is not tawakkul, this is shirk. You think you are above the laws of nature, forget about it. You are not. But when you are taking every measure to escape the fire and you can't, then of course the tawakkul begins. Like in the case of Abraham. وَقُلْنَا يَا نَارُ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَىٰ إِبْرَاهِيمَ. This is tawakkul of Abraham. So God can order the fire not to burn if He so desires. But don't poke your nose into the fire. You will burn yourself. So other beautiful, this hadith is so wonderful. I have been speaking on this at different times with different new shades of meanings, but for the time being I think it should be sufficient, right? Another important meaning of the tawakkul in this context should be born because it's important, and I shouldn't have forgotten this. That is, once you do all these things, you lock the car, take all the precautions that the street is all right, and then tawakkul, it does not mean that Allah will most certainly save the car from all the attendant dangers by the hooligans, etc., etc. When you come and find it that the window panes are broken and you have been robbed of some valuables, if you had tawakkul on Allah, don't blame him then, because you have made a tawakkul on a higher authority. He is not your servant. If the servant does not take care of the things entrusted to him, then he is answerable, and you can shout at him. But remember, if you have done tawakkul ala Allah, be happy with his decision. Then tawakkul ala Allah means that this is the decree of God and I accept it. Then you will not feel restless. You will not burn your heart unnecessarily. So, all right, I left it with God, and if God has so decided, I'm happy. Radiyallahu anhu wa radu anhu. These are the people who have mentioned this. These are the people with whom Allah is razi, because radiyallahu anhu wa radu anhu, because they have made a faith, a practice of their life to always be happy with the decisions of Allah. Add this, and then the tawakkul becomes complete from A to Z. Right? Right? It says only 1 minute is left. So I think about the tawakkul I have said all the important things which I had to say. But one thing I must add, that it does not mean that you do tawakkul and every time you are disappointed. Most of the times you will not be disappointed. This is my personal experience. If you do tawakkul correctly, then you will be amazed to see signs of the help of Allah, unusual help from Allah. So many times that you will be most certain that this tawakkul meant something. So it's not just when you are saved, then you say it is God. When you are not saved, then you say, all right, it happens. It's not like that. This is something of a question of the existence of God. And He does exist, and He is the master, and He is all powerful. So when you fulfill the condition of tawakkul and have tawakkul in Him, most often you will not be disappointed. You should not be. And when occasionally He decides not to listen to your prayer, then you shouldn't disappoint Him. Making noises, right? Jazakumullah.
Assalamu alaikum.